In this video, we'll be taking a look at one college basketball game happening on February 5th, 2024, and providing you with a free team pick and total pick for this game, so 2 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on this one college basketball game after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start, if you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Kansas versus Kansas State. On Monday night, an intense in-state rivalry will be reignited within the Big 12 Conference as the number 8 ranked Kansas Jayhawks gear up to face off against the Kansas State Wildcats. The Jayhawks are coming off a significant victory against number 4 ranked Houston, securing a 78-65 win as 1.5-point underdogs on their home court. Meanwhile, the Wildcats suffered a road defeat to Oklahoma State, losing 75-72 as 1.5-point favorites. This encounter marks the initial clash between these teams this season, with their league matchups evenly split in the previous season, each team securing a win on their respective home courts. As we find ourselves at the midpoint of the Big 12 Conference schedule, the competition is intense, with 12 out of the 14 teams closely trailing within 2 games of the first-place position. Kansas currently shares the top spot with a 6-3 record, demonstrating their prowess, especially after a convincing home victory over Houston. On the flip side, the Wildcats are struggling, having lost 4 consecutive games leading up to this crucial rivalry matchup. While some argue for Kansas State, pointing to potential letdown scenarios for Kansas or regression after an impressive shooting performance, the overall consensus suggests that Kansas stands as the stronger team presently, despite the inherent risks associated with supporting ranked teams on the road in a competitive conference. The Bramlage Coliseum, famously known as the Octagon of Doom, poses a challenging environment for visiting teams, particularly when facing their arch rivals, the Jayhawks. However, recent performances by the Wildcats, including a 20-point home loss to Oklahoma, indicate offensive struggles, with scores barely reaching the low 50 seconds in 2 of their last 3 games. Conversely, Kansas has found a spark in freshman guard Johnny Furphy, who contributed 17 points in the recent victory over Houston, highlighting the team's evolving dynamics. While lacking depth, the addition of a reliable 5th option makes the Jayhawks a team to watch. The upcoming matchup is a significant test for both teams, with Kansas State's defense likely to face challenges containing the versatile Jayhawks. This marks the first of 2 encounters between the rivals this season. Last year's matchups were evenly split, with the home team emerging victorious in both straight up and against the spread. In the current season, the Wildcats hold a 10-12 against the spread record, while the Jayhawks are at 10-11 against the spread. Despite the occasional frustration associated with the Jayhawks' performance, riding high from a recent triumph, they seem poised to carry momentum into the clash with their rivals. As Kansas State faces another challenging stretch of ranked conference opponents, the pressure is mounting, and their defense might struggle against the potent Jayhawks. The Wildcats are at a disadvantage, boasting a 5-7 against the spread record at home this season. In anticipation of this heated rivalry game, the Kansas State Wildcats are expected to be motivated, fueled by the home court advantage provided by the fervent atmosphere at the Bramlage Coliseum. Nevertheless, their struggles against quality Big 12 teams and recent offensive woes, scoring under 60 points in 2 of the last 3 games, raise doubts about their ability to overcome the formidable Kansas Jayhawks. Kansas, coming off a convincing win over Houston, presents a formidable challenge when operating at their full potential. To consider backing Kansas State, more favorable point differentials would be necessary, given the current form of the 2 teams. So the Kansas Jayhawks to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. The recent meetings between these 2 rivals have been characterized by offensive displays, averaging a combined 168 total points per game in the last 4 encounters. However, a shift in this trend may be imminent, considering the Wildcats' recent offensive struggles, especially against ranked Big 12 opponents. Both teams exhibit inconsistencies on offense, with Kansas being held under 80 points in 5 of their last 8 games. Notably, 22 games involving these teams have resulted in an under this season. Both teams prioritize defense defense, with Kansas State ranking 26th and Kansas ranking 19th in defensive efficiency. Additionally, neither team falls within the top 100 in tempo, showcasing a deliberate offensive approach. Recent trends indicate a propensity for both teams to go under the total, emphasizing their defensive strengths. Despite Kansas's impressive shooting performance against Houston, their inability to breach the 80-point mark raises questions about offensive consistency. In contrast, Kansas State has struggled to surpass 60 points in 2 of their last 3 games, and their offensive efficiency ranks them 155th, coupled with a 231st ranking in tempo according to Ken Palm. For Kansas State to secure victory, slowing down the pace and turning the game into a defensive battle might be their best strategy. The Jayhawks, possessing the capability to excel at various tempos, are likely to take an early lead and control the pace. Should Kansas State exceed 60 points, it would signify a significant departure from their recent offensive trends. Initially considering an overbet, given Kansas's recent offensive prowess, a closer examination of the matchup suggests a potential shift toward the under, anticipating a more deliberate and defensive-oriented game compared to previous years. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. The evolving dynamics of the teams, coupled with their defensive strengths and recent offensive inconsistencies, point towards a more subdued scoring affair in this matchup. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.